So today is the first day back in training, and right now I'm doing the Campbell PRS strength program. Here you can see I'm just doing a quick warm-up. I don't really like to take too much time to warm up. I do a lot of stretching beforehand. A couple of things that I will say is that I do pull my deadlift sumo, so before I even get to these warm-up deadlifts, I like to actually get in a few sets of light squats to kind of loosen up the abductors. I really like to stretch my hamstrings, because I feel like if you stretch your hamstrings beforehand, you're going to alleviate a lot of that back pain that you'll tend to get. So I just do like a slow workup here. So I started out with 135 and just sort of added a little bit of weight as I went up. And if you notice at the top end of my deadlift, I really flex my hips. So I really want it to pop. And in essence, like, the only way that I can think about this is like I want to drive my hips through the bar. So as I pull, I flex. And for me, that's a really important thing because I have an issue at the top end of my deadlift. So getting it off the floor isn't an issue, but once I get it past the knees and pushing the hips forward, when the heavier weight comes, that's where I tend to have my issue. So today's workout was speed deadlifts, okay? And it was 7 sets of 3 at 255. So what I did was I went in the Brandon Campbell's Excel spreadsheet and typed in all my numbers, and it basically gives you the workout. So today was the first workout, 7 sets of 3 at 255, and then you followed up with some accessory workouts afterwards. So this is just some footage. I didn't film all 7 sets because I know you guys don't want to see me pull deadlift 7 sets of 3, so I only filmed a couple sets, and you know, for the most part I feel like you get the point. I also like to use a overhand grip as much as possible because it does work on your grip strength. So I don't like to do the over under if I don't have to. So here I'm moving into the back squats. I actually was supposed to do deficit deadlifts right after that, but I wasn't really looking at the chart. I wasn't looking at my phone, so I thought I was supposed to do this back squats first. So it's 3 sets of 5, okay? And I picked the weight 255. I don't know why. You know, after not having squatted for about a month, I feel like 255 may have been pushing it. But once I went back and looked at the video, it seemed like, you know, the weight went down and came up pretty quick. I also am using a new belt. So with speed work in particular, I like to use a belt. Even though 255 isn't heavy by any means, when you're doing speed work and you're pulling the bar quicker than you would normally, the chance for injury is a little higher. So instead, I like to reduce the risk of injury on speed work by wearing a belt. And the same goes for the squats. Since I was going to be doing not speed work on squats in particular, I really just wanted to try the belt out and sort of feel what it was. My first time using a lever belt. And let me tell you something, it gets really tight. The belt that I'm using in particular is a Titan belt. It's a Toro Bravo, it's an $85 belt. It's a 10 millimeter thick belt, lever belt, upgraded steel lever. So the old issue with the belt the lever falling apart really isn't an issue anymore. It feels really well built, and it was tight enough to where it was a little bit uncomfortable. And I assume that over time that's going to get better as the belt breaks in and sort of forms to my body. If you look, I also really like to practice my walkout. Okay, I have a 4-step walkout. All right, it's 2 big steps followed by 2 small steps. On the low rep work with higher weights, I always like to practice my big breath. So taking that deep breath in before each squat. I won't do that on a set that has, you know, anywhere between 8 and 10 reps, just because you'll, like, you know, hyperventilate yourself and pass out with all that weight. So on the lower reps, I like to take my time, take the breath, practice my walkout. Your walkout is a big part of the lift, not just lifting the weight, but practicing how you get the weight out. So here I'm going to be doing my deficit pulls, which is what I should have done before the back squats, but oh well. I'm standing on top of a 55 kilogram plate, which gives me about a 2.5 inch deficit, 2.5 inch, I think. So since my issue is at the top end and this is 6 sets of 3, I bumped the weight up to 315. As the program goes, the deficit pull will get a lot heavier. So I really enjoy the program. Today's first day back in the gym turned out really well. The weight moved a lot faster and a little bit easier than I thought. We'll see how it goes on bench day. Thanks for watching, and if you guys have any questions, let me know.